YouTube? Your boy Alex is back. I'm taking the break from my sports channel. No, I'm not finished with the wrestling series. I'm just taking a break, a nice 1 to 2 day break. I got to come back and talk about the greatest tag teams in professional wrestling, and then the series finales, which was conclude who won the most championships in professional wrestling between men and women. So that video is going to be a combination mixed of men and women. So yeah, 1 to 2 break. Maybe Sunday or Monday I come back on the sports channel and try to drop those videos. You know, you might wait. I might make you guys wait a little longer for the last one because when I do who won the most champions, that's not going to be an easy video to make. That might be broken into 3 to 4 parts, and I'm trying to find some ways to shorten the video so it's not too long. Because I don't want you guys to be looking at a long, lengthy video and you be like, man, Alex, couldn't you short this and get straight to the point? Why, the greatest tag teams, that might be an easy video. I just might make that the 10 top, either the top 9 or top 10 tag teams, and that'd be it. But that's not my sports channel. This is my main channel. Now, I've been gone about 3 or 4 days because I was trying to give you guys a break to watch other YouTubers. So it seemed like y'all did, but y'all want me to return and kick ass and take names. Good morning to everybody. And I gotta make some shout outs. I said that from now on, every time I do a video, I'm gonna start shouting out some men and some women. Now, there were 2 black women who saw my YouTube videos, and they acknowledged them. So let me go ahead and give these black women some shout outs. Let me say, thank you to the older black woman who saw me walking 24 hours ago because I was walking past the Swanson Swap Meet Mall, and she saw me and she said hi to me. So thank you. You didn't have to say thank you me, but you did. So thank you. I also want to say thank you to this younger black woman that's between the ages of 18 to 27. So I want to say thank you. She didn't have to say hi. She did not have to acknowledge me at Food for Less, but she did. She saw my YouTube video and smiled. She liked the fact that I made 3 videos about African American professional wrestlers, so she liked the video. So I take it both the black women liked the videos about African Americans in professional wrestling. So thank you to those black women. So when black men be talking about they don't get acknowledged by black women, I got acknowledged by black women. That's why I'm shouting them out in the video. It's nice to interact with your fans. You know, I'm gonna make a YouTube video about the good and the bad, but that video's not coming until like the end of June, mid-July. It's not time for that video because I just want to do some shout-outs. So every time somebody says hi or bye or says I have a good day, you will get shouted out in my video in a good way. So when and I'm going to start asking for people's names. So when I say I want to give a shout out to such and such, you're being 100% acknowledged. Some people feel like they don't get acknowledged at work, at school, at the gym. And when you see me, your fellow YouTube superstar, I'm giving you a shout out. I'm showing you some respect. So you show me some respect, it gets back sent to you back in return. So I just wanted to shout out these 2 black ladies. It was an older black woman and it was a younger black woman. So those were 2 black women 24 hours ago. They know who I'm talking about because they watch my videos, obviously. And I will be making a video called Thank You to all the people that have seen my videos. I have no idea when I'll make that video, but it will get made in the future, I promise you. Today's video is going to be called Sex Game, the best James Bond portrayals of all times. Now, this is a video that is 14 years in the making. For years and for years, moviegoers, fans, people at work, people at school, people at the gym have asked themselves, who was the best at playing James Bond? And for years, people debated back and forth. It was Pierce Brosnan, my most favorite. Some argue it's Daniel Craig. Some say it's Sean Connery. Some say it's Roger Moore. And I thought about, it's time to make that video. It's time. You know, we got a James Bond movie that could come out this year or next year. And a lot of people are always debating it. And if this video is very well received, it will spawn off 2 other videos. Because I have ideas for the second one, which is going to be called Who Was the Best Portrayal of Batman? I know there's some Batman fans that are probably saying, if you can do James Bond, you need to do one for Batman. And then if the second one is successful, then I'll do the third one, which is who did the best portrayal of Superman. And I know y'all want to know who between those guys who play Superman on TV, who has the best portrayal. Right now we're on James Bond, and if the James Bond blows up and is very well received on both channels, you're going to get one on Batman. Then we're going to do who are the best portrayals of Superman. And then maybe in 2 weeks I give you a big worldwide video event. That means a new project in the works. Like the best YouTubers, that was a big project. But we're talking about one that might be bigger than that one. It's got comic books on it. It's going to be talking about the top 10 greatest comic book films of all times. So you might want to wait in 2 weeks for that big project. For those that are still debating what are the best movies in the MCU, that's 2 weeks away. Alright, let's start from the bottom, shall we? Let's start with Timothy Daiton. Now, Timothy Daiton was a well-accomplished actor. Now, yes, he's Britain, and he basically popped up in a couple of movies, couple of television shows outside the United States, and then he made his way into Hollywood, and then they couldn't decide at the time who should play James Bond. And he had to compete. It's not like he got the role for free. He had to put in some work for that role. And when he first got cast in a James Bond movie, if my memory serves correct, and if I get the name of the movie wrong, I understand. He played in a movie called James Bond Living Lights, or something like that, where Kim Basinger was in that movie. Yeah, before Kim Basinger was in Batman, she was in the James Bond movie. Go figure, she got to be in both big movie franchises. That's interesting, isn't it? She got to be in a James Bond movie first before hooking up with Michael Keaton in Batman. So that's actually interesting. He was in the James Bond movie. And the movie was good because by that time they started to take more risk and experiment more with the character of James Bond. People would complain that the James Bond was too safe. He never got his hands dirty. He would never fight none of the villains. There would always be some twist of fate where something would come in and take the bad guy out. Like, he would never take out the bad guys. And people was like, when you going to give us a James Bond that's not afraid to get his hands dirty and fight? And Timothy Dalton's James Bond kind of was like a nice reflection of the times. It's the 1980s, take some more risk, show the character in a different light, and they did. And they did it with a James Bond film called License to Kill, which is by far one of my most favorite films because it had the most action, the most excitement, the most storytelling, and they actually did what you didn't expect. Like, they finally decided, fine, all right, we hold back long enough, give the fans what they've been craving for. A James Bond that actually fights the bad guys, like actually fights them. No help, no twist of fate, him actually coming in there and actually stopping the bad guys himself. And License to Kill was a very good film. And at that point in time, he was good because he got to be in James Bond twice. But, unfortunately, the studios wasn't quite sure if he was to come back. He said he would love to come back and play the character 2 more times, but at that time they decided that the studios went bankrupt, and then he was upset that they got rid of the screenwriter and the director, that Timothy Dalton. Like, it seems like he has a lot of similarities with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton played Batman twice, Timothy Dalton played James Bond twice, and all of a sudden Timothy Dalton was gone. And it was like, what? At that time, he was the best James Bond. And he said he wanted to come back, and when he was getting ready to say yes to coming back, they decided to replace him with a guy that I thought was even better. And we'll get to him later on this list. Now, won't we, people? But at that time, he was the best James Bond.